that's when you get the negative feedback, because you don't agree with how they think. Turns out Stern was like, "Gotcha, bitch." I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Maybe they've learned something from every game, and this time it'll be different. What? What the? I gotta show everybody my wiener. Use my wiener.
I mean, it's basically a Led Zeppelin jukebox with flippers.
The game is going to sell. He just did a mic drop and then walked the hell out of the room. That's big dick energy if I've ever seen it. It's pinball. It shouldn't be too serious. I mean, if you take pinball to a serious level, you get The Godfather.
Lie back down.
I know I'm gonna get some hate from those of you out there that are probably doing it, but that's what it is. The back glass says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right there at the top, and 4 inches up, if that, the title's there again. That makes no sense. And I mean, what's concerning to me is that through the whole build process, no one brought it up that, hey, maybe we should make this a little bit better. No one mentioned it. We believe this idea to be the best course of action for us and for you, but mainly because it's gonna cost us nothing.
If he dies, he dies.
We need to find out what these suckers will pay for a crappy product that your toddler drew for us. She draws on a first grade level. And the thing is, I know one of the people over social media has informed me that a lot of the times, at least as of 3 years ago, majority of the things that I would post or say to them was fucking blocked. Why are you promoting and asking for deposits on a game that's still 6 months out? And we're here, guys. Hello, hello. Let's test the audio first, make sure I'm loud enough. I can always turn it up a little bit. And we'll adjust accordingly. So, let's do audio. Puppies are not here yet. Sounds good so far? Okay. So, let's just get this out of the way. We got, 74 people in here so far? Look, I was going to do a video and go over all the topics. And honestly, I just didn't have the time to do the whole editing and everything. And I was like, you know what? F it. We're going to do it live. We're going to do it live, guys. Plus, I feel like I kind of need this, honestly, to be able to go back and forth and discuss what is going on in the hobby. We've got a lot of topics to go over. Including, for those that don't know, we've got evidently a little bit of an issue with Dungeons and Dragons. I'm not sure if any of you have heard about this yet, but we're going to talk about that. That's kind of a big deal, but hopefully it's not a big deal, if you catch my drift on that. Brian Cosner coming in with the first super chat with 99 cents. My goodness, I need to adjust that. That thing is taking up the whole screen for whatever reason. Why is that? What resolution do I have this at? What is going on here? Oh, why do I have it on 1920 by 1080? No! Wait, that can't be right. That can't be right. You know what? It'll be fine. Let me move the chat over so everybody can see what's going on here. Let's see here. Ooh. All right. Do you guys care if chat kind of covers me up? I got it transparent to an extent. What is this? Some sort of fancy chat thing on the internet's going on, Franchi? Oh man, well, I've got me a drink. Let's see. What is this still? Let's keep it like this. I feel like that the other version, chat, was taking up the whole thing, and you guys know that streaming is not my forte. It's like I do it, but I'm not like amazing and know where everything's at and great at it. That's for the people that do this all the time. But Anyways, so we're going to get into it. What do we want to talk about first? I don't think I want to go directly into Stern just yet. Hey, look, let's, because we got a lot of, like, you know, questionable, iffy things going on when it comes to quality control. So I think we should talk about some of the good first, not just go directly into the bad. So, am I getting frozen up? Okay. I mean, I'm hoping everything's going to be okay on this stream. I'm honestly doing this because everybody else is out at basketball practice. I just pulled ribs out of the smoker, so this should be enough time, hopefully, to get through this before they get back, or if my dog goes into labor, which honestly could be any moment or any day. She's acting a little weird right now, so for all I know, she could be. We're hoping she does before pinball at the beach, but she's probably going to wait till we get on the plane. All right, so video and audio is good? Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. Let me see what you guys are seeing. It looks like it should be okay up here. I don't have my headphones on, so I'm going to assume the audio is fine. Am I going to stream at Pinball at the Beach? I might. I might do some one-on-one with people. Me and Francie may have a sit-down and chit-chat, talking to everybody while we're there, having some mimosas or something. All right. So let's start out with some good here. I reached out to multiple different manufacturers across the board today and got good news and bad news. It's all in there. But I just, you know, let's start out with some good. So Turner Pinball, they, as of this week, will have a total of 47 out of 100 of their games out the door. So obviously kudos to them. As far as I know, I haven't heard anything about people having issues with this game either. I know of at least one game out of the US as well. They got their game today. But so I'm going to obviously give them kudos because they're doing good. They're doing what they're planning on doing, getting the games out the door. And with them being almost at the halfway point, it's like I feel like they should definitely be somewhere along with their second game, whether it be a Whitewood at least at this point in time. I just don't know at what point they are at on their second game. And I don't know. It's like I was asking them if they plan on being at Expo. That's in the air. No confirmation there. When it comes to Turner Pinball being at TPF, or Texas Pinball Festival out there, then they are bringing, I don't know how many, but they are bringing some Ninja Eclipses that are basically for locals or people that are going to be picking up the games that they bought at the show. So for anybody that hasn't played a Ninja Eclipse and you don't own one, but you would like to play one, Texas Pinball Festival will be the next place for you to get your hands on it. I'm over here talking about pinball, and then we got banana hammocks going on in the chat. Okay. So that's with Turner Pinball. Let's talk about Dutch. People are wanting to know, where's Alice? What is going on with Alice? Where are they at with this? So as we know, Alice, they're going to be building it all throughout this year. And Melvin has stated that if you don't receive your game by January of 2026, then you are eligible for a refund on your deposit. What's going on, Todd? Welcome to the stream. So I think as of right now, because they haven't started making the machines yet, it's pretty much a guarantee at this point in time that if you have a number later on down the line, like 400 plus, chances are your game's probably not going to be done by the end of the year. That's what it looks like at this point, because 1 month has already gone by, and not a single Alice has been built yet. They are waiting on a few parts. They should be arriving this week. Melvin has plans on doing a recorded stream or a recorded video for showing you guys some of the new additions to the code for Alice. Look for that here in the next week or two. But they said that they will be building Alice starting this month. So there you are on that. Todd, thank you very much for the super chat. The $10, very much appreciated. Pinball at the Beach swag bag includes a licensed Haggis Speedo. Ugh. So there's your update on Alice. We should be getting a video here in the next couple of weeks. I think what I'm hoping is like, yes, you're going to be eligible to get a return on your deposit, but hopefully people are willing to wait a little bit longer to get their game after seeing everybody else get their game and everything hopefully works great and looks fine. Then people will be like, all right, well, the games are coming. I'll just wait a little bit longer. I think quality, especially from what we've been seeing lately, is something that all manufacturers, all of them, need to focus on. Let me shrink this chat down a little bit once I find my mouse. There we go. There we go. What's going on, everybody? I know a lot of people are saying hi and everything. Imagine me in a Speedo. I don't want to imagine you in a Speedo, Todd. That's an image that I won't be able to burn out. Also, who the F is Alice? Smokey. All right, so Alice in Wonderland. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, rather. So those will start this month, and hopefully everything's good to go on that. Let's see here. So that's DPX. Let's see here. Okay. Let's talk about Spooky Pinball. Something is going on with Spooky that I think a lot of people did not anticipate. And I think that is, so far, and I do not want to jinx this because it's literally only been out for a couple of weeks, a week at most on location. And as of right now, the game that has been on location, they have not had to take the glass off. So far, the game has been running nonstop, no issues. And I know that a lot of you out there question the QC when it comes to spooky games, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this is the game that everyone will remember. Yeah, they had some issues in the past, but when they did Evil Dead, that was the head turner. That was where something clicked, something changed, and they made it to where reliability is definitely going to be added to their repertoire. But so I'm glad on that. I'm glad that so far Evil Dead games look to be rock solid. And it comes to Pinball at the Beach, there will be 4 of them there with toppers for everyone to play as well. I don't know if all those games have sold out yet, though. And I tell people, if you want an Evil Dead and you don't want to wait in line and you don't mind having a few hundred plays on it, then you may want to call Little Shop of Games to see if one of those Evil Deads is available for purchase. And you'll get it at a show price, which is, I don't know, it varies depending on the distributor and everything, but I'd like to say it would be at least $500 off. At least. This is the one they'll remember me for, Ed Wood. Evil Dead may be the game of the year, and I hope so. That'd be great. So I'm excited for Spooky on that, with the fact that I know the game looks beautiful, and I know that the game plays, from what I play as good as I do, the game plays great. So I'm hoping that everything holds up and we start seeing more spooky games on location. That's what I really want to see, is a lot more locations out there going, you know what? I'm going to get me a spooky game and add this to the arcade. And we start seeing more of that. That's going to be a really good thing. So that's where we're at with Spooky. And they're currently in Florida right now having oysters. Yeah, our Toy Story 4, our $10,000 new inbox. Oh, we could talk about that too, Todd. That is on the agenda here when it comes to getting to JJP. All right. So, let's go on to... Okay, screw it. Let's go on to JJP. Todd, since you want to bring up their $10,000 Toy Story 4. Yes, $10,000 Toy Story 4s are available. But I guarantee you, if you look on the Pinside market right now, you can get you a used one for about 7 or 8. I want to say I looked just the other day, and they're available. And I'm not telling you not to buy a new in-box, but that's what happens with the market. Whenever the manufacturer drops the price, new in-box is fun. Yeah, it's fine. It's like, in a way, I understand the new in-box mentality. But it's like, it's like the same way with my ex and even with my wife. It's like, did I know I was the first one to that she was with, to be with? Was I her first? No. Did I care? Not really. Because in the end, I was still having some fun. So, it's the same thing with new in-box pinball. It's like, unless you really do care about being the only person playing that game in that box, go for it. New in-box is fun, but not when you lose money or have to deal with the issues. If you're not first, you're last. Yeah, and that's the other thing that I like about demo games is that once it's been on location for a week, and not location, but at a show, and it's gone through 400 or 500 plays, and by the end of the show, it's still going, that game is going to be fine. Because you're not going to play it nowhere near as hard as it did during the show. That's one of the things about my Foo Fighters back here. It went the whole weekend getting beat on. And you look at it now, you can't tell. You're not going to look at that game and be like, well, you could tell it played at Texas Pinball Festival. No. Our D&D is from CES and is still kicking. Okay, so it's kicking. It's not burning, right? We'll get to that in a little bit. But on to Jersey Jack also talking about their Toy Story 4. They lowered their price from 12 to 10, so they knocked off a couple of thousand. So they're trying to move those units. But I think of something else that's kind of fallen off the radar. Tell me, does anybody care about Avatar anymore? I feel like the pinnacle of interest was at Expo when they both models were there, the CE and the limited edition. Everybody got to play it and experience it. But it's after Expo, it's I don't know, it just seemed like the interest just dropped. And I'm all up for being corrected here, guys. But it seems like the game lost momentum a while ago. Is that Pin Vision on your Foo Fighters? You ever going to showcase it? Yes, I think. Because, and here's the thing, guys. This goes with we'll discuss this in a little bit, I guess. But remind me again to talk about Pin Vision, and we will. But still talking about Jersey Jack. But Avatar. I mean, I enjoyed how it played. It looks fine. The CE looks even better with the powder coating. But I don't think the UV is definitely showing up as well as they did in the promo videos. I mean, even Retro Jinko, he did a video showing off his CE. Yeah, the topper looks cool. Inside the game looks like a limited edition. And he turned off the lights to show you what the UV and everything looks like. But it didn't really stand out enough to where it was like, wow, kind of thing. You can tell that this is a CE. The best JJP is Elton John. Plenty fun. Yeah, I would not mind having an Elton John. That is a really great shooter. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to seeing the collectors in our showroom next week, and we can tell what's going on with the UV for sure. All right, well, that's the good thing. I mean, is that we're going to start seeing the CE show up here in the States here very soon, and I would like to see if... Because for me, it's like when you put a camera on something that's illuminated within your machine, it always seems like, depending on the camera, obviously, and your settings, but most of the time, it's going to be bringing in more light than what is actually there. And a lot of people, when they see my games, they think that I've just got everything cranked up to the tits, and it's just really bright. It's not that bright. It's just that the camera is allowing more light in, kind of thing. So that's the same thing when I've showed off Pin Lights or Pin Stadium. It's always like, oh, it's too bright. And I'm like, it's not too bright. It's just that the camera is making it seem brighter than it is. So you would think that the UV would show up a little bit more prominently when recording it. But it's not. But again, it could be just the camera. We have an avatar and location in our league spot, and you can't see the UV almost at all. And this was my fear when the game was first even revealed, when I highlighted the fact that you could see the reflection of a giant UV spotlight in their $100,000 marketing video. You could see the reflection on the playfield of this huge UV light. And I know why they did it. I don't think it was so much like we need to make it stand out, like they need to cover it up. I think they were just really trying to exaggerate how reactive this UV ink is going to be. So in a way, it's a little bit deceptive, but I think they were trying to make it really pop on camera. But I had a feeling. I was like, the only way that people are going to be able to really see this and like it is if they see it at a show in a controlled environment with additional UV. And they did just that at Expo. And I just don't see a lot of people in their homes doing that. Maybe locations might have some extra UV lights, but I just don't see a lot of people doing that. JJP hired McQuaid? I haven't heard anything about that. I don't know if they did or not. I know other information about that, but as far as like where he is going to go next, I don't know. Honestly, I guess we could talk more about that when we get into American Pinball, because we could talk about that as well. When we get into American Pinball, we can discuss the McQuaid thing. But I want to say that was pretty much it for Jersey Jack. I think a lot of people are excited for Harry Potter. And I think that a lot of people should also temper their expectations. I think I'm not gonna say that the game's gonna suck. I'm just saying that, especially if you've seen the homebrew version of the Harry Potter, don't think that's what you're gonna get from Jersey Jack. You're not gonna get all that individual. I'm sorry, I don't know the guy's name, but it's doing the homebrew for Harry Potter that looks absolutely amazing. But you're not going to get that with Jersey Jack. I'm hoping that this because this is the biggest license that they've had since, hell, Wizard of Oz. I mean, every license that they've had has been well known. Everyone knows every game that they bring out. Like, oh yeah, I've heard of this. I've heard of Pirates of the Caribbean. I've heard of Toy Story. Just Toy Story 4? Everyone's heard of their licenses that they're choosing from. It's just that their price mainly is pricing people out. But they want to cater to that particular demographic of people. They want to be the Ferraris or the Lamborghinis of pinball, so they price their games the way they do. And we'll see how many people go into that when it comes to Harry Potter. But I am tempering my expectations. I'm not saying the game's going to suck, but I'm just going to be like, let's see. But those Harry Potter fans out there, just kind of like, just wait for it kind of thing. And we'll see what it has. Let's see here. Also, it's what little they put in their games for the money. It's like, are you going to get cake toppers in Harry Potter? Are the videos going to sync up with the audio? How many of the actors have signed off to actually have their likeness on the game or in the game? How are they going to function around the license on this and feature all 8 movies? I'm more curious than anything to see how they pull it off. I hope that the game is amazing, and I hope that all you Harry Potter fans out there look at this and go, yes, and you want it. But I'm kind of curious also with the fact that it's such a well-known license that the game is going to be priced higher. Do they dare? Would they dare do that? When people are already fretting about the price of their games, would they jump the price up a little bit more knowing that it's a particular license, that people are willing to pay more for it? That's why Wizard of Oz is still their best. Yeah. JJP is dead if they do that. Do you think they're dead? They have money. They're not dependent on their customers so much. It's like you have backers for pinball, like American Pinball's got Aimtron, Jersey Jack's got, the billionaires. For whatever reason, I can't think of their damn name right now. But they've got the money to scoot them along in case things happen. But a lot of other companies don't have that luxury, including Stern Pinball, which brings me to the main feature of tonight's show. Is evidently we're having some problems with Dungeons and Dragons. So, let me bring this up on my screen right here. So this was actually as of February 1st. Today, I was able to play both Evil Dead and Dungeons & Dragons. Well, Dungeons & Dragons was placed on the floor, got some rounds, but didn't even survive the day as the dragon ironically started on fire this morning and the dragon stopped working. I was able to get a good 10 games in before they took it down. I did enjoy D&D, but was thoroughly impressed with Evil Dead. The gameplay was solid, and for a license that I have no interest in, I will definitely be playing it again. While Spooky doesn't have a sterling reputation for quality, this machine just felt different. It felt like it was at a higher level. Time will only tell. Now you're thinking like, okay, one game. One game had an issue. No. So, more games have had issues. The thing is, the only games that have been released so far, aside from some pros that were at CES or anything like that, have been the LEs. So the LEs are beginning to surface into people's collections. And as I've been going through Pinside, there's at least 4 or 5 that Pinmonk is saying he's aware of that have had issues. Let me play a little catch up on this. What back glass is that on your Foo Fighter? It's the premium back glass on my Foo Fighters. Oh, we drinking? Yes, we are drinking a little bit. I do have to work in the morning, so I'm not going to go in feeling all ugh. Anyways, so I get messaged by a couple of different people today letting me know, like, hey, their distro sent them this message and what's going on with Dungeons & Dragons limited editions. And this is where, I feel like there's more. I almost thought about doing a video on this entitled something like, the real price of LEs. And it's like, a part of me goes, yes, I feel like definitely the LEs should be envious to us lower tier guys. We should look at the LE model and go, man, I really wish I had the money to get that. And then the people that own the LEs, that's their bragging rights. They pay the extra money. They also should get their game first. I'm all on board for that because, you know what? They paid the money for it. Props to you for being able to do such a thing. But the downside is that they are getting their games first, but they're also like the beta testers. They are a focus group for whether or not the game is going to function correctly. And that's what we're seeing now with it being on Dungeons & Dragons. And what's funny, but not funny at the same time, is that you had X-Men that we all know got pushed up in front of Dungeons & Dragons for reasons untold. But from our knowledge, it seemed that, Dungeons & Dragons needed more time to cook, so they pushed X-Men out the door a good 3 months sooner than it needed to be. So that was kind of how we were looking at X-Men. Like, man, it didn't have enough time to cook. It didn't have enough time. They should, have, more time now on Dungeons & Dragons. There shouldn't be an issue. And then, lo and behold, we've got machines that are evidently frying node board 10. I know I don't play my LEs hard. I'll play my premiums hard, but not my LEs. Agree, you beta test them and your price drops on the game with games played on it. Yes, similar to the node board problems with Rush that evidently still haven't been completely resolved from what I've read. So, in things have developed when it comes to what's going on with the node boards and D&D, and hopefully we can at least, I don't want to say put out any kind of fires, but I didn't want to blow this up, turn it into another, John Wick thing. So I did tell George before I do anything like that, I will reach out to him. So I did, and I was like, what's the current situation with Dungeons and Dragons? And his response was this. The cable for one of the motors is dressed in a way that can damage the cable and create an intermittent condition at the board. The node PCB can only tolerate a certain number of intermittent spikes, and then in certain cases, it gets damaged. We are looking at resolving the cable issue that creates the intermittent condition. It is a very small gauge cable that comes with the motor, so depending on how it's dressed, it can damage the cable. So, we have that. And then, let me find it again. What is my mouse doing? Oh my God, stop. Okay. So, Troy at Tilt Amusements posted an update a couple of hours ago. Here we go. Let me go up here for this and put it on the screen here. So, right here, Troy at Tilt Amusements says, distributors have been sent an email just now, and Stern has the solution already, and will be sending that out to everyone, and they say that we should expect a temporary solution tomorrow. My take on this is that possibly a code update tomorrow that will make some adjustments so that the Node 10 doesn't get overcurrent and blow. That will be a patch until you can get the real fix mailed to you. From what I understand, it is a connector adapter that will be the fix. Not positive, but that's what I read into it. But the temporary patch will be so the game can be played while waiting on the adapter. Also, majority of the games that have shipped have not had this issue, and it has been in about 10% of the games, and I believe that only 60 to 80 or so LEs were shipped in total. The emails that distributors sent out to all people were to be proactive and preventative. I have several hundred plays on my personal LE and have had no issues. So, let's go to this one. So, there you have it. Stern is reacting to a problem with Dungeons and Dragons that evidently didn't present itself until they started getting out to the public. So, how bad that problem is, and if this is going to be a simple fix, is yet to be determined. Hopefully it is an easy fix, because, and I'm wondering about the games at Pinball at the Beach, because their current fix is for those that have their LEs or their Dungeons and Dragons. They want you to go into your options into setting 23 or 26 and disable your dragon. That's right. The centerpiece, and most likely the reason why you made your purchase, needs to be disabled. So that way you don't cause any damage to your game. So this is where I definitely go, man, that sucks. I mean, technically, at least you could still play your game. So that there is that. Are you going to shave your filthy hairy neck prior to leaving for Florida? I'm going to shave tonight, Franchi. Thank you very much. Or I may do it the morning of. I may wait till the morning of. I don't want to shave tonight. I don't like shaving anyways. Look at this. Let the neck beard go. Will this connector adapter be sent to Rush owners too? That's another thing I don't know about. And I kind of wonder what the fix is going to be. But it looks like they're being reactive to it. And they basically told distributors to not send out any more of the LEs until they can get the fix shipped out to them and then like ship it with the game type of thing. It sucks. That's 2 games in a row now. And that's why I was going to talk about quality on this, is that 2 games in a row from Stern now that have had issues. Granted, X-Men seems to have a lot more issues. And I think a lot of people have given up on that game too. It's You've got, and here's the thing, and I know there's probably going to be people in chat topping a message right now that your X-Men plays 100%, you love it, it's great, good. That's awesome. That you are one in a small amount of people that has had zero issues with your game. And that is due to, more than likely and honestly, luck. I'm sure that Stern does plenty of testing at the factory and the game plays and they put it in a box and ship it. But so many things can be shifted and moved around during the whole process of shipping to someone's house and even you setting it up at your house to where that small, minute tolerance that this game has on a lot of the shots gets shifted a millimeter or two, and that's just enough to make your game play horribly. Issues at launch go way back. Like, yeah, there's always, not always, but there's definitely certain games that have an issue when people get them because there's just a lot of variables that you really can't account for until they get into someone's home or on a location. Because we can't do what we did back in the 90s. I say we, like I'm in the industry. But like what companies like Bally Williams and everything used to do, a game or two would go on certain locations. And people would play the hell out of them. And if any kind of issue arose, they would go, oh, okay, we need to fix this for the other games that we're about to build. We can't do that anymore. That's just not going to happen. Now it's like the games, like here it is. Build them. Get them shipped out. X-Men issues aren't major. Well, I mean, you can talk to those out there that say that it is major. Some people can't launch their ball into play. I think if you can't play your pinball machine, that's a little bit of a major issue. Maybe the dragon is supposed to breathe fire, says Franchi. Maybe! That's the irony of it, is that you've got a creature in the machine that's smoking, and it shouldn't be. But it should be, but not literally. Mine won't launch. See? There's one right there. So, to say that aren't major, if you can't play your game, that's major. So, with Dungeons & Dragons, you're still able to play your game. You just don't have the cool factor working. But you're still able to play it. Oh. All right, so where are we at? I think that was it. I'm just kind of curious if Evening Carrie, see you at the beach. All right, I'm looking forward to it, guys. I'm ready for the beach. And the thing is, I thought I was going to be escaping like cold weather here in Texas, but it has been up to 80 degrees. I don't know. I'm kind of used to this Texas off and on. You don't know what season it's going to be. You'll have all 4 seasons in one freaking day. Stringer Films! Thank you for the $2. I want to talk pinball, Gary, and jackpot, Carrie. Yes, sometimes we do get some cold weather. It's going to be 70 every day. Yep. The plan is I'm going to start drinking before I even get on the plane on Thursday. The wife and I are going to be at the airport, probably at the Chili's or whatever there, and going ahead and get a couple of drinks for the flight. And then when we land, Franchi, am I picking you up or are you staying at the airport or what's going on? I guess you can text me all that information later. We'll figure that out. But yeah, Bloody Marys the whole way. I like my Bloody Marys spicy too. I like some heat to them. But let's see here. So we've gone over Dutch. We've gone over Turner. We've gone through Spooky and Stern. Was there anything else that we wanted to discuss about what's going on with Stern, with the X-Men or anything? Like I said, I think a lot of people have given up on the game, and that sucks because I really do. The time that I have spent on X-Men, I did enjoy it. The shots and felt great, but I know that evidently code, from what I read, is way behind schedule. Like, they need to get the code in the damn game. And that's what sucks, is evidently code is severely lacking on X-Men. Dragon is broken. Another bad board. Man. You almost bought X-Men, Ellie. There was a moment where I was about to call my local distro about X-Men LE because that game looked so good. I was blown away by the shot layout, and I was like, the FOMO almost got me. Almost. And I was like, I'm going to wait. And then my buddy Eric said he was getting a premium, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Then I can wait even longer and play his and really determine if it's a game that I want to own. Because I have yet to buy a game without playing it first. Someone sending the PinVision reminder right there. We're not there yet. So all right, let's talk about American Pinball. You guys want to know about American Pinball? Franchi, I will not be getting an Evil Dead. But seriously, I'm really going to have to make room for Spooky's next. I think it'll look damn sweet over here in this far area right here, all showing off the beautiful artwork and everything. I'm going to have to make room for it. American Pinball is on its last run. So, you're going to buy Barry O's Barbecue Beach Party. Good Lord. So, for those that don't know already, I did play American Pinball's next game whenever I visited the Stern Factory. I can't remember if I stated this to the public or only to my patrons or not. But, and it's like no secret. I'm not under NDA. They told me they didn't even bother. I didn't have to sign anything. They didn't care if I said anything. I just couldn't take any pictures or show any video. And after even speaking with Rond over there, you know, he's well aware that everyone is aware that it's Cuphead. Everyone knows that it's Cuphead. And it's going to be more than likely their best game yet. What sucks about this, though, is that I don't know when we're going to see it. It's like my initial guess was going to be probably early April. But from other information, it seems like it's going to be longer than that. And there's good things and bad things to why. And this is why I like doing these live sessions, is to get feedback from you guys out there. So the studio that has Cuphead, they're pinball people, just so you know. They're probably on Pinside. For all we know, they're probably watching this video right now. They are pinball people. So they're very well aware of the reactions that people like myself have to games whenever they're released. And one of the things that they want to make sure is that the game is done. They don't want the game being released with subpar code. They want the code to be complete. So if you're asking, why haven't we seen the game yet? When are they going to show us the game? It's not ready yet. And that's the thing that pissed me off the most whenever David Fix was over there. Because he gave us some bullshit excuse. Oh, we don't want to release the game whenever it's around this manufacturer's release and this manufacturer's release. You could have just said the game's not ready yet. And we would accept it. But you lied. Will Cuphead be another Magic Girl? Video game themes open up a whole new world. Headed to Applebee's. Oh, Todd, you could eat at Applebee's and still watch me. Bargain Basement. This is where licensors sign off is awesome. So this is, from what I gather, is that the license holder for Cuphead is they don't want this game to be revealed or released until the game is done. So that's where we're at with that. But I can tell you right now is that I really do hope that they can get this game out. Because I think from what little I have played on it, I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy this. Especially when you compare it to their other titles that have released in the last few years. I still have a couple of concerns, and one of them is code, obviously, but and another one is the aesthetics of it. But we'll see. That could possibly change. And I say the aesthetics, meaning the cabinet. I let my patrons know a lot more details about what the game looks like and what it even has in it when it comes to the playfield. But I don't want to give it all out to everybody publicly like this and everything, because I would like Ryan to still be able to reveal this game, but I just don't think he himself will be revealing it. It looks like he's still going to be involved with the game to some extent. I just don't know where that's going to go. But I think, he put 3 years into this game. I think he needs to be involved to some sort of fashion, and I think he deserves a right way to reveal it to the world. And hopefully that'll happen in the future. But we're not going to be seeing it at TPF. It's going to be a ways off. 4 months, maybe more. But that's the reason why you're not seeing it, is that the game isn't ready yet. But I do like a lot of what I'm seeing. There's going to be a couple of things that you're... like I said, there's one thing in this game that will be the first time that American Pinball has done it. So if you know their other games, this will be their first game where they implement a certain feature underneath the glass. But I really do want this game to be released, and I would have liked to have had more time on it to really get a good gauge of it. But I think it looks very packed underneath the glass. There's a lot going on. The code needs more. But so SG25, you're on the money right there, kind of thing. Working flippers. Fun game under the glass. Oh, everybody's got the jokes. Oh, that's the thing that I have to question about American Pinball, and I'm glad you guys are here for this. Also, it's like, and I remember asking this on Pinside in the American Pinball thread. I was like, at this point, I mean, and I think one major factor that they need to work on is customer confidence. I mean, you can build a pretty game, your best game yet, but when the majority of your buyers are scared to buy from you for a multitude of reasons, one of them being, how long are you going to be around? Because we know about the layoffs, what's going on there. That's not an indication of, a business thriving. Then you have the fact that I know people that have told me they have called there and they've gotten no response, left messages or emails and have gotten no response. And from what I can tell you on that is that they are looking into hiring somebody to fill that particular spot on answering customers and getting back to them. And this is a funny thing about this. And I'm like, when I was hearing this, I was like, you know what? That doesn't surprise me. Is that they're trying to find somebody that is pinball savvy, can repair pinball machines, but also, what do you think skill is lacking on a lot of, let's just say in general, people these days? What is the major skill that a lot of people in this up-and-coming generation are lacking in? I'm trying to see if anybody can communication. SG25, you're on the ball on this, but I was going to say social skills. There's evidently plenty of people out there that are willing to work, but they don't like people. They don't like talking to people. They don't know how to talk to people because they don't know what to do if they're not doing it through their friggin' phone or through an email. And with this particular job, they need to possibly be able to have a voice call or even a video call with a customer to help them troubleshoot their game. So that's the challenging part, is having someone that is able to fix their games via remotely and to also be able to talk to these people without having an anxiety attack. crazy too. It's like so many people these days. It's just like they can't even look you in the eyes. Apparently, you cannot replace everyone on the Labrador Retriever. F those feelings. Yeah. So, when it comes to American Pinball, I think they definitely need help in a lot of areas. But I feel like at this point in time, is it a lost cause? I mean, they've got to release the game. They're contractually obligated to release Cuphead. But it's like, even if the game was amazing, it looked great, and let's just say, for instance, it was priced, attractively, would you buy it? I give them 6 months before closing up shop. We've been saying that about American Pinball for a couple of years now. Many 6 months. People will be scared to buy it. Yeah, people will be scared because they need to work on customer confidence. They need to start working on getting back to their current customer base. You need to repair, mend, make amends to your current customer base. Take care of them. There's people out there that still haven't gotten their damn lunchbox yet. I think the wife and the dragon-in-law are back from the basketball. I think I hear the kids too. So we're going to start trying to go through this stuff real quick. I think I mainly hit on a lot of the heavy hitters for tonight on this. And how long have we been going on with this one? Almost an hour now. So I was kind of wanting to do about an hour show anyways. So when it comes to quality control, you can always count on one company to give you quality. And that's CGC. I'm kidding. This is a buddy of mine got the correct topper. He got all the correct parts, but I guess they gave him spares on the topper. So he made it the Bad Mothers edition. Or the lesbian edition or something like that. But I thought that was pretty funny. I was like, did they ship it that way? Please tell me they didn't do that. Please tell me. But no, at least the LEs or the bad BMFs are on their way out of the factory. But people got to realize when it comes to CGC, they're going to take their time, guys. They're not trying to grow and do numbers. They're just focused on keeping the line busy, just keeping people busy. As long as they got something to do, then they're making money. They're not focused on, we need to get these games out as fast as possible so we can move on to the next project. That's not their mentality. And that's the reason why we kind of give CGC a pass, is because when they do get the games out, they tend to be in excellent condition, rock solid kind of thing. So it's like, you hate how long they take, but when you get your game, it's like, damn it, it works and it looks good, so it's hard to complain too much. America needs Zach and Bone to make promo. Man, what are you doing? Why are you giving me more money? You give me that much on a monthly basis. Jay, you're killing me, Smalls. Thank you very much for the $20 super chat right there. And yes, I will be going to Pinball at the Beach. Russell Gibson, thank you very much for the $10 on there. Very much appreciated. I saw Julie Dorser open her Pulp Fiction back box was smashed. Travolta on the topper is face backwards and can't be rotated. She had several issues. Well, that sucks. But this goes back to what I said earlier when it comes to games shipping. Shit happens. So sometimes things move a little bit. Other times things move a lot. And when I visited the Stern factory, I saw plenty of cabinets that were involved in some sort of like truck accident where the games fell off the truck and they were smashed, like brand new Metallica LEs and everything. That was sad to see. It looked like a graveyard of Stern machines. Thank you very much, Stringer, for the other $2. Don't forget to bring a towel. They supply me a towel. Every pinball company should make a music pinball. They were pushed. So let's see here. Let's just go through here. I think that was pretty much everything that I wanted to go over, guys. And we'll see how everything goes this weekend. I'm looking forward to Pinball at the Beach, to hang out with some of you that are in chat right now. And like I said, I'll get some content up, obviously, bringing my drone and everything along with me as well to get some footage of everything like that. If you're on my Patreon, you will be getting everything first. I'm going to be giving it to you raw and uncut. That sounds dirty, but you know what I mean. They're going to be getting the stuff first. And then I'll probably put something together and put it up on the channel for you guys. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing everybody there and hanging out and having a good time. And definitely getting some more time on Evil Dead and Dungeons and Dragons. Hopefully, those dragons are moving at Pinball at the Beach. That's gonna suck. The first, show other than CES for the public to play Dungeons and Dragons, and the main feature isn't going to be moving. That's sad. But all right, guys. I'm going to bring this to a close. The ribs are ready to be devoured. I'm getting a little hungry myself. But I wanted to definitely get this up for you guys because, like I said, I wasn't going to have time for editing. And plus, this gives me the ability to go, oh, I forgot to mention this because you guys are going to remind me. Speaking of which, before I get distracted again, I know that some people are interested in the pin vision behind me. So, my patrons are well aware of my whole situation with pin sound and the pin vision behind me. There's pros and cons to it. That's all I'm going to say. But, if you like the way it looks, good. I just wish it did more. I wish that it interacted with the game. That's pretty much it right there. And now, hopefully, we'll see if I do a video for it. I don't know. Raw and uncut, the Kiri Hardy story. Thank you very much for the $2 donation right there, Neon Night Ride. Very much appreciated. Let me know if you ever want to sell World Cup tickets. World Cup tickets. Pinball at the Beach, kind of jealous. Yeah, and that's the thing, guys, is this is going to be the first Pinball at the Beach. So it could be a mess, or it could be awesome. And then if everything goes off without a hitch and everything goes great, then chances are it'll be another show to add to the schedule for next year type of thing. I'm honestly undecided whether or not I want to go to Expo. I don't know. If I do, I don't think I'm going to do a whole weekend. I don't know. Like a whole weekend in Florida on the beach, yeah, I could do that. But whole weekend in Chicago, I don't know. This last one wore me down. All right, I'm getting sidetracked again, but thank you all for joining the stream tonight and being able to go back and forth and talk pinball with you. I feel like I needed this, and hopefully you guys got something out of it as well. Looking forward to this weekend, and if you want to be informed on what's going on, whether it be pictures, stories, videos, or whatever, then by all means, join my Patreon. I will be submitting to them first, raw and uncut. And then eventually, I'll get something up on the channel. All right, guys, you have a lovely evening, and hopefully Dungeons & Dragons gets sorted out, and it's good to go. We don't need 2 games in a row from Stern that don't work. That's not good. So, all right. Love you long time. Thank you, Stringer, once again for another $2.